Okay, so we're going to be watching Arshan playing Sigma here on New Queen Street. This is Masters on PC. I already did a video for this earlier, but unfortunately it did not record, so I typed up a bunch of notes. I'm going to read through the notes right now, and then I'm going to cover a few specific scenarios that are just way too hard for me to explain in text. So my notes were that I think your aim overall is very good. Your rock was accurate when you used it at the right time, but when it wasn't the right time, you used rock anyway, and then you wasted it, and then the other team punished you for it. Your shield usage in particular is really poor the whole game, and your flux usage is good. Your ultimate usage is pretty good, and you overextend and get killed a few times. So let's just kind of go over those scenarios a little bit. Sorry, just checking my notes. Figure out where we're going. Okay, so for starters, just looking at the first fight, so Sigma excels in the mid-range, right? But it's very clear from your play that you're trying to push this, you're like trying to aggress right now, and I just don't think that's a right call. I think you want to play like a little further back, right? Playing tight here decreases the distance between you and Nerissa, and then she can just walk up into you, and then you're in big trouble, which is actually what's going to end up happening here. But, right? And then now you use rock, but this is a terrible time to use rock because what did you key in on to decide which you said to use rock? Okay, the Orissa's already fortified. Their team is really far away. Even if you hit a rock on the back line, you're extremely unlikely to get a kill this far away with them surrounded by support. You'd have to be like virtually perfect here to get that kill. I don't think this is a good idea. Right? Again, that rock, yeah, sure, you land it or not, like it doesn't matter because you're not gonna get this kill. Even the wall doesn't come, I don't think you get this kill. Now they see that you don't have rock. But you hear zapping right here, I would immediately turn to my right and be like, what is going on? You see the Sojourn is very extended. This Orisa is never going to die, right? Just look at the situation. Like, she's around a corner, she has cover, she has two supports with her. This Orisa is never going to die. Not in a million years. I don't care if you're the best Sigma in the world, you have 0% chance of killing this Sigma right now. Right? Plus, the Genji could jump in and deflect if needed to save the Orisa. This Sojourn, though, you notice Sojourn's just like in the middle of your whole team. You could turn right here, and you could shoot her. You could rock her if you hadn't wasted rock. You could shield off for your team. You have a lot of options to kill this Sojourn. So when I say, hey, turn and help your team, this is a great example. Like, you don't care what's happening in your flank. You're like, I'm going to win whatever this fight is right in front of me. Who cares what happens to my team? But then, right, your Moira dies. And then you kind of lose your sustain. You grass there for no reason, right? You got absolutely zero healing from that grasp. Okay, if we roll it back, flush, right? You like panic grass here, even though there's no projectile heroes to attack you. Okay, and you're like, oh, what's happening? Oh, look, what's going on in my team? Oh, maybe he's pulling back because the soldier pushed in your flank, right? Got a kill, and now you're in trouble. And like, yeah, you get killed there, but ultimately it doesn't matter because you're gonna die with this team fight. Right? All the kills after this don't matter. That's great tracking with Soldier. But again, it doesn't matter. It's the wrong time for a kill. Like, you could have killed, 3 there, but if they still survive with 1, they win the team fight and they move the card forwards and they force another team fight. Okay. So again, you come out here, you're really wasting your shield a ton, right? Your shield's taking a ton of damage, which would be fine if you were playing a fighting anytime soon, but you're clearly about to rotate over here. I'm actually going to change this real quick. So, you're clearly about to fight, right? Now look at how low your shield is entering this fight. You only have 100 health in the shield, okay? Just not good. Going back to, hey, you threw a rock here. Why did you throw a rock here? Right? Are you going to get a kill here? No, this is so far away. Even if there's nobody here, you're not going to get that kill because they're going to be out of range for you to actually hit with your left legs, right? Like, that's not going to end up with a kill. And now look, your rock is on cooldown. Watch, right? Larissa's right here. She's walled, okay? You put damage to her. That's the right call. Right here, right like a moment before here, I would start my rock because I know, like, I have a feeling that Orisa cooldown, the fortify, is about to end, and then she comes out, she gets rocked right here, the team can't help, and then she dies. Right? Even if she spins, it doesn't matter because spin doesn't stop rock. Right? She would die right here if you ended up doing that. So big mistake. Right? This is a great example where you're not saving rock where you really need it. Now you throw a rock, but they're all behind cover. Right? It's like, yeah, you land a hit, but you notice you can't get a kill. Your team can't get it. Your whole team's here, you still can't get a kill because they're not too far away. Right? That's like just kind of like Sigma 101 there. You just have to use rocks at the right time. Right? Even your aim is good with them, relatively speaking, it doesn't matter. So again, this is a great example where like you're not doing anything to help your team. Okay? You notice that the Orisa is gonna be pushing into you. Like, watch. So let's roll this back. Okay? Let's think about tanks in terms of space creation, not kills, but space creation. Right? Orisa comes into you, starts pushing the pace. Your mate does a good job walling. This is a good wall. This is a really good wall. And this is one of the reasons why playing Sigma here sucks. Because you're playing, like, for example, Hog, or Rein, or Orisa, or Zarya, you could punish and kill the Orisa here. But as Sigma, you just don't do enough damage. Right? This close range brawly type stuff, this is not good for you. And you notice the other team is trying to close the distance on you because that's smart. The other Orisa is like clearly playing to her strengths, which is get too aggressive, get up in your face. You're not reacting well to that at all. Okay? Now again, notice how your team plays after this, okay? The Orisa spins in a second, or actually she's gonna just walk in on you in a second, I think. Right? She gets healed up, right? She's playing her cooldowns. Waits. Okay? Now you use Grasp for no reason. You barely get any healing, where you get 2 bars, 50 health of healing, and she starts spinning in. And notice your whole team has to pull back right now. Okay? Right? And notice how much space their backline has. Like, they're under 0 pressure because the Orisa's all up in your face, pushing you back. You're not doing anything right here. You're not preventing your team from dying. Right? 2 people have died right now. You get sucked in, now you get wiped. Right? This is, quite frankly, a tank diff. You know, like, you could have played this very differently by killing the Orisa initially or playing at max range the whole time and just constantly spamming down. Like, as Sigma, your ability to control pace is very limited. If the other team wants to walk into you, you don't really have any tools to stop that. You have no mobility and you have 1 rock on a long cooldown. You must always play at long range, your maximum possible range, against teams that will beat you at close range. Okay, that's probably a universal tip for all heroes is, do I want to be closer, do I want to play in the mid-range, or do I want to play far against whatever I'm facing? As Sigma, you want to play in the mid-range, right? At the very length, the edge of where your left clicks go. Because that way, even if you don't direct them, it'll explode and do, like, I don't know, 40 damage splash or whatever. That's a lot, that's like 80 damage. So you want to be playing at that range. Don't play close enough that the Orisa can spin into you and then spear and then just like gun you down, right? It's a bad idea. Okay, so moving forward here. Right? Again, not a good rock. Right? It's like the Orisa's at full health. You're not killing her anyway with the rock. I would save the rock in case there's a better opportunity that's coming soon. Right? So pushing forward, okay, this is good. You're keeping the fight in front of you. I think you land a good flux here. Right? That's fine. Killing Soldier, killing just one of flux ultimate is almost always okay. Right? Totally fine. Okay? Unless you're in like I gotta kill multiple to win a situation, killing one with an ulti is always fine. Right? Killing Soldier, great, cool, that's fine. We use it to win the fight. Right? You throw this shield, you get in there. All right, they pop Coalescence. I think it's fine to reset for a moment, but I think then you start aggressing, which I think you do. Right? The Orisa's trying to make space on you. I think right now you're overly focusing the Orisa, and you should be going for the backline. You see how low the Kiriko is right now? Like, the Orisa is not going to die. Orisa is just like one of the hardest tanks to kill in the game. Right? She has Spin, she has Javelin, she has Fortify. Okay, and she has a large amount of health and armor to begin with. Killing Orisa is really, really hard. You attack the Orisa when you have no other options. Also, when you threw the rock, I think we're gonna watch you throw a rock. In a couple seconds. Right, I think this rock. I think I mentioned that. I think you should hit it with cold. Yeah, I mean that's fine. Maybe think so you see, like, you're not looking. Look how low this Kiriko is. You know, like any splash here kills her. It's like crazy. You're like so sucked in on like who am I trying to kill versus like looking who is your team trying to kill. Again, what is the point of this rock? Right? It's like granted your team's like kind of rolling them here, but I would at least wait for Fortify to completely be down so I can actually make good use out of it. Right? You taking a long time to kill this could result in your Kiriko dying. She doesn't, but just FYI. I think you get a really good kill here. Right, I think you do good tracking with Mora, who's being silly and jumping, which she shouldn't be. Alright, Kenji's in. You do a good job targeting him, I think that's fine. Right, this is a good rock. So, right here, you're gonna have an opportunity to kill her. So, if you back up here, and then fire them right here, like bursting basically where my camera is right now, she dies. But instead you move forwards, which ends up shooting the orbs past her. Right? You see how much further back? If you walked backwards and sent them here, and they blew up here, which they also would have blown up sooner, right? Then she would have died from this, or potentially died. It would have been close, right? But at least close is better than 0% chance that you end up landing this kill. You saw that she moved to the right. There's nowhere for her to go in that room. Just like in terms of like spatial awareness, she had to be in that spot. So their Orisa goes Winston here, and then this is where things start going awry, like super awry, because Winston is a really good counter for you. I mentioned in the previous video, but it never got recorded. Sigma's not a good matchup for your lineup. Okay, you have a ton of healing here, which allows your tank to be greedy. Okay, you could play Winston. You could play Winston here. You could play Ryan here. You could play Zarya here, right? You could play even Diva here. There's like tanks that can be very greedy, need a lot of healing to be effective. Great with this lineup because you have a ton of healing, but not a lot of utility because Kiriko is the only one that gives you any utility, and Moira gives you 0, right? Meanwhile, your Mei is a brawl DPS. She wants to get people up close, right? Trap them and then kill them really quick, get up on their face, and then you had Genji initially for a while, who was a dive DPS, and now you have Sojourn, who's a poke DPS, who actually does line up with you, but when you started the game, you had Genji, right? You have no synergy with basically your whole team, which is really unfortunate. But one of the things that Sigma's really weak against is dive, and that's why he's typically played in scenarios where it's really hard for them to dive. For example, Circuit Royale is a really common one right now because it's really long sight line, so it takes like 2 jumps for Winston to get to you, and then you can just blow up his team when he's trying to get to you. But yeah, you're going to start struggling from here to deal with the Winston, which is like not a skill thing. You literally just can't do anything against Winston because he's going to jump past you, put bubble down, and then what you do. Right? I think throwing the rocket there is okay. I think that the number one thing here is that you're way too extended. You see how far away from your team you are? You're like bloodlusting here hard. Right? Like really, you want to cap this and then start moving forward. Ideally, would you hold the high ground? Yeah, but you're way too far away, especially with the delay. Once you cap it, you'll do it. You see how like you end up absorbing a lot of resources here because you make a mistake. Okay, you make a big mistake by being this far forward. You're like, it's like 1 on 5 when you jump up. Your team gets scared, so they throw Suzu, 1. 2, they use Coalescence. Okay, so you burned 2 of your team abilities for no reason. Like, you expended that for literally nothing. The other team didn't have to cost any, they didn't use ultimates, they didn't use any strong ability, like they literally just shot you regularly and walk forwards. So now they can just wait out your abilities and then kill you. I think this is a good flux. Yeah, you get some kills here. Right, jump in, you're pretty committed, etc. Right, it looks like you should just win this game, but that is not in fact what's going to happen. Imagine if you had Coalescence though, because that would be a big difference. Okay, when Winston goes in here, the correct move is to commit on the Winston. He has no bubble because you saw him bubble right before this, and you know he has no jump because you just saw him jump in. There's no reason, not especially with shield up already, to commit here, run into his face, and kill him right away. He dies anyway, but there's no reason for you to not have been part of that business. No. So Coalescence, not a great counter against Blade, but at least some counter against Blade. And now you have nothing to deal with this whatsoever. You also don't have Rock to try to hit the Genji. I think that's one of the big things is also saving Rock for Genji Blade. There's no way winning this fight. You're already down 2 or 3. So we're gonna reset. So this is probably one of your biggest mistakes of the game. So you're gonna walk forward here. Your Sojourn is running away, which you should track, right? When you came out of spawn, you should have been like, oh, one of my teammates is really far forwards. The Sojourn gets dove, which is her fault. She's out of position for sure, right? And then you keep pushing forward. Your Sojourn dies, and at the moment this happens, I'd be like, wait, this is really problematic, okay? Because I'd look around and realize, hey, there's only 3 of us here. The Sojourn is dead, right? Where is my other DPS? Well, your other DPS is over here on the Winston. There's no reason for you to be pushing into 4 people right now, right? Unless they can trade for your Winston right away, you're about to be outnumbered and out of position, wide in the open. And that is exactly what you do, right? Again, bloodlust, okay? You're just tunnel visioning and walking forwards, trying to fight. And like you turn, you're like, wait, this is weird. Why is everyone so far back? Because you see how you're not controlling the off angle here, right? The Sojourn is completely pushing all of your supports back. And this is probably one of the reasons why your supports are flaming you. They're like, wait, you're not even clearing this. And there's no reason for you to be this far forward, okay? And your DPS can't help because one of them is dead and the other one went to help the other DPS, which is a reasonable move. Like, I wouldn't say your Mei is out of position. She went to go help your Sojourn, right? So you are the one who is out of position here. So now you end up fighting basically a 1 on 4, okay? And you get melted, and then your Kiriko jumps in here to save you, which is a terrible mistake. You were dead. Like, there's no way, right? But then she dies for this because now she doesn't have Suzu and she doesn't have Swift Step, right? You don't even throw a shield to save her. And now you get super staggered because you're trying to stay alive instead of just dying. So, big mistake. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes you make in this game. Get it together. We can't lose. So, again, coming out, I mean, at this point, I would switch, even with 81% ult, I would switch off Sigma. Because I would not feel comfortable, based on what's happening so far, keeping my team alive against the Winston. And conversely, that's okay if I'm like, I can kill the other team faster than Winston can kill my team. But I don't believe I can do that on Sigma, right? I like as Hog maybe, as Zarya maybe, right? Even as Ryan maybe on certain maps. But as Sigma, I don't think I can land enough hits to kill people faster than Winston can kill mine. That's the honest truth, right? Sigma's just not a high DPS hero. He's not a high mobility hero. He's very easy to kite. Okay, basically people die when they choose to fight you to the death. If they want to prevent you from dying to you, they can just walk away from you, and there's nothing you can do about it. It is very, very easy to die to Sigma. Missing this rock at Masters, I would say unacceptable. So one of the things we can notice from your aim, I kind of microanalyzed this before, but I'll give you the quick version. So you're going to over flick here. So in this situation, when you're this close, treat it like hit scan instead of treating it like a projectile. Imagine there's like a dot in the middle of the monkey's body, and track that constantly as he goes left and right. So you're going to see here that you're going to flick at the very last moment over here, unnecessarily. So you see, if you just tracked him in the center the whole time, which is not hard, like he's a giant target, and there's a lot of leeway here, you would have landed this rock. But instead, nope. And in fact, if you landed the rock, that might have been after jump jet cooldown, so you might have just killed him straight up here. Again, you're not paying attention to anything that's happening on your right flank, right? Your Kiriko just dies. The Sojourn is the most overextended of the team right now, and I bet she used Leap in order to get in there. So you totally have an opportunity to kill this Sojourn, right? And you're not listening to it at all. You're like, oh, only after start shooting at you, but now it's too late, right? Because now the Leap's on you, and now you're getting a fully into your spot. Okay, come out of this. I think you did really good job here, right? You hit the Kiriko twice, and then you hit the Sojourn twice. I think this is very reasonable. The Kiriko made a very difficult save with Suzu. The timing, as someone who plays Kiriko a lot, the timing on this is very precise for her to do that, to not die. So, you know, that's fine. I think it's reasonable to not keep shooting the Kiriko there. So, but yeah, I mean, you get the kill, right? Again, I think your flux mechanics overall are very good. Alright, try to kill Kiriko, great. You're gonna push through this, great, cool. So you should have tracked this fade. That's fine, alright. So again, when a monkey is zapping you, you're doing this like bubble dance. There's no reason to do this. Like, either think I'm gonna win this fight or I'm not gonna win this fight. If you're gonna win this fight, like you are there, just keep walking towards him. Right? There's like indecision there that is unnecessary. May did a good job walling there. Like, I think your May played well, right? I think your other DPS probably didn't play so great, but your May played well. It's just that you're not a good tank to work with a May. Whose fault is that? Is it yours for not switching to a better hero, or is it hers for not switching off May? I don't know. You're both equally responsible. So it's both of your faults. Let's put it that way. Alright, you get juggled here. I don't agree with that rock. So the reason being, jump jets for Monkey and Primal has 2-second cooldown. Okay, you're gonna inconvenience him for half a second when he comes out of that stun, right? And he's also at full health, so the damage is irrelevant, right? You see how much health he has? He's gonna come back to 500, right, or 550, whatever it is now, after this, and then that makes no difference, right? And your rock is off cooldown. Why does that matter? Well, let's see what happens while this goes on. You see the soldier? See the soldier? You see the soldier killing your Kiriko standing still? That's what you could have been doing instead of targeting a monkey that was never gonna die. Right? Again, another good example of like, how do I help my teammates? This looks like a pretty good opportunity, right? I could shoot him here, right? Which would cause him to dodge at least and panic. I could rock him here. I could shield, right? You got a lot of options. Grasping, worst option. You didn't feel anything out of grasp. Honestly, if I completely disabled your grasp in this game, it wouldn't have made any difference because your grasps actually were terrible overall. I actually did mention that in the notes, but I think your grasps universally were really, really bad. The best time to grasp is not, hey, I'm at full health and running away, right? Or I'm at half health and running away. The best time is when you're up in their face and they're like, oh god, I have to kill you or else you're going to kill me. Then you grasp, because then people have to commit on you. Okay, so really good example of just starting the fight where your prioritization is all wrong. You can see the low health heroes over here, and you can see a full health Winston. Don't even bother attacking this Winston. These shots on the Sojourn could be very valuable. Shots on the Winston, wasted. Even if he doesn't jump, even if you hit him direct, right? You do 120 damage, wasted, completely wasted. Okay? Kill this soldier. Right? She even kills her mate. So I don't typically throw rocks when I'm just in the bubble like this because, again, it's very easy to have them get blocked. So also, when the mortar flew back like that, you have an opportunity right there to put a little extra damage on her. Does it really matter? Kind of tricky, right? It's gonna take it longer for her support cooldown to trigger. The heal orb is there, but I don't think I would have recognized that in real time. I think firing these 2 shots to her is worth it typically because it will completely keep her out of the fight. If she's at like 150 health, she might come back in. But if she's at like 40 health, she's not coming back in. That's over. And even though you don't kill her technically, you've effectively eliminated her from the fight. So it's just the same as a kill. Right? You see how she has full health and she comes back in because she's like, oh, okay, I have the opportunity to possibly stay alive here. So one thing to recognize here is my team needs me to clear this high ground or they cannot advance safely. That's really important, number 1. Number 2, you see this enemy soldier is so aggressive this entire game and you don't do enough to punish him. Okay? You're like, okay, this is a reasonable shield. She slides, I kill her. I definitely don't drop my shield. I kill her right now. Okay? I start the rock looking at where she's going and I rock the heck out of her and I walk into her and I just kill her. Because she's already slid. What is she going to do? There's no supports here. I know the supports are way back here. Right? There's nothing the soldier can do if I just walk into her. Right? You have 550 health. The soldier cannot kill you. She can kill your Moira, but she cannot kill you. And you decide, hey, I'm going to try to rock this guy. Alright? Let's back this up a little bit, okay?
2 minutes.
Alright, so let's see what happens here. Right? Soldier just goes straight in, right? You could have just ran towards her, popped a rock, and killed her right now. Right? And instead she forces fade, and then you have to go in, and then you have to kill her. Okay? But it's kind of lucky that ended up happening out the way it does, right? Because sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes in Chaos of Fight, nobody's around to help her, right? The Kiriko's able to come over. There's nothing value you were doing here. The highest value thing you could do would be to kill the soldier right there.
We have nearly gained the lead.
So again, bad rock, right? Really bad rock. Because the odds of you hitting him is low. Even if you hit him, you're probably not going to kill him, especially the Kiriko there, right? Even if you hit him and got the 2 directs, this Kiriko would Suzu and save him. Right? Waste of a rock. And now they know you don't have rock. Oh look, the Winston's here. Kind of unfortunate. So this is the only flux that I think you messed up this whole game. Is why go for the Winston? The Winston's full health and they have all abilities right now. There's no way this Winston is gonna die. I go for the backline, right? You lift these 3, okay? You at the very least force cooldowns or something to potentially get the kill, right? Doing the Winston here, not gonna kill him, right? Oh, this is the rock I'm thinking about. Why are you throwing the rock at the Winston? Look at the Moira! The Moira's in the middle of coalescence, right? The rock at the Winston isn't going to do anything here, right? He's just going to stun him for half a second, and then he's going to keep zapping the rest of your team. You stun the Moira, they don't have coalescence. That's a potential game changer. Rock at the Winston's not going to change. Here, I'm just going to die here.
2 minutes remaining.
And you're your last Sigma life. So, again, this is a great example where coming out of Sigma, what the heck are you going to do about this? Right? The Winston jumped your back line, he's going to be zapping them all, and then you're in the front, right? It's like, you got to kill him. You got to kill him fast, right? Because he's doing a lot. You see how far back he's pushing your team, right? He's pushing 3 of them way the hell back. And now you have to do the same thing to their team. But I just don't think, as a hero, you're constructed to be as good as Winston is. I think a better hero, a better Sigma rather, would have gotten the kill here on Soldier. One of the things I talk about in the video, again, which will never be seen, is to bounce them when you only need a little bit of damage, right? At 50 health, I don't need a direct. All I need is to bounce against the ground and have them stop here. And I basically never see you do this whole game. You only go for directs, and you're good at directs, right? But you know you can't actually finish her off as a result of this. Right? Because why? Because your team is so far away. Because of the Winston has made a tremendous amount of space, and you are walking to the opposing team, and you just can't kill people as fast as your Winston can. That's the truth. I think you go ball after this. Yeah.
2 minutes remaining.
Anyway, hopefully that's helpful. Got through a bunch of examples of where you could have helped your team, better ability usage, etc.